Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Lion Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I will be fighting a 1,500-point battle between my Dark Angels and Harris's Vostroyan. So the story that we've got going on today is that this planet there was a large battle going on this planet, trying to fight back a heretic Astartes force that was on the planet, beating them back, but the Imperial forces were losing ground, and it was determined that this planet was a loss, and they were going to Exterminatus it to make sure that they didn't leave anything for the Chaos forces on the planet, because the Imperials had a strong hold over the airspace in space above the planet, so they could direct their weapons down upon it, but they were losing the battle on the ground. So the Dark Angels and the Vostroyans were fighting alongside each other, fighting off these heretic Astartes. When the decision for the Exterminatus was made, the Vostroyans got an order from up on high from an Inquisitor in the Ordo Hereticus that he needed them to go send a force out to go collect some very important information about possibly the forces that they were fighting here, these unknown black-clad Astartes in ancient armor that were fighting on this planet. So the Vostroyans were told by this Inquisitor to go collect this information for them quickly before the planet was exterminated, and they went out to go follow those orders because they came up on high from where they were supposed to. But the Dark Angels obviously did not want them, because this information, turns out, is actually information about the Fallen, and the Dark Angels did not want them to have that. So we were both going to be racing to victory to try to capture this this information. So that's actually the mission that we are going to be playing today, which is from the chapter approved Maelstrom mission called Race to Victory. Essentially, it's a regular Maelstrom game, so we've got six objectives here on the board, and we're just going to be drawing normal objective cards going along. But the second someone achieves, whenever someone achieves 10 cards, so the earliest it can end is the beginning of turn 4. It can end on turn 4. Once someone achieves 10 objectives, the game ends, regardless of whatever it is. If it goes on to turn 5, it's a random game length anyway, so you still roll to see if it ends then. But the second someone gets it up to 10 victory points, the game is over. That's the race to victory. The point value is whoever got that 10th one, whoever got it up to 10, gets 3 victory points. Then we also count in all the points from the cards: First Blood, Slay the Warlord, Linebreaker, as usual, but it's just that extra 3 points if you were the one that got to 10 victory points. So it's not a guaranteed win if you get the 10, because you could have had a whole bunch of 1s, and I could have had a bunch of 3, D3 and getting 3s, a bunch of them, but I could still win. But it's pretty helpful to get that 3. So that's the story. That is the mission that we were going to be playing. Before we go any further, let's show you the 2 armies that are going to be fighting it out today. So for the Dark Angels, I'll be running a battalion detachment. Leading off that detachment, we have a Librarian in Terminator armor with a Force Stave and a Stormbolter, and a Interrogator Chaplain with a Power Fist. We have a 5-man Scout Squad with Bolters. We have a 5-man Tactical Squad with a Plasma Gun. We have a 6-man Intercessor Squad. We have a Chapter Ancient. We have a 5-man Hellblaster Squad. We have a 5-man Deathwing Knight Squad. We have a Predator with twin Lascannon Sponsons, and Stormbolter. And last but not least, we have a Land Raider Crusader with a Multi-Melta. So for the Vostroyans, he'll be running a Vanguard detachment and a Super Heavy Auxiliary detachment. Leading off the Vanguard detachment, we have a Company Commander with a Power Fist, a Bolt Pistol, and the armor of Graf Tashenko, and a Primaris Psyker. We have 2 10-man Veteran Squads, each with a Heavy Bolter and each with a Heavy Flamer. We have a Company Command Squad with 2 Snipers, a Grenade Launcher, and a Medic. We have a Ministorum Priest with a Chainsword and a Bolt Pistol. We have an Ogren Bodyguard with Bulgrin Plate, Bulgrin Maul, and Slab Shield. We have a 5-man squad of Rattling Snipers. We have 2 Armored Sentinels with las cannons, but no Hunter-Killer missiles. We have a Leman Russ Demolisher and a Leman Russ Punisher, both with Heavy Bolter Sponsons, both with las cannons, both with Hunter-Killer missiles, both with Augur Array, and both with Stormbolter. And last but not least, we have a Baneblade with 2 las cannon and twin heavy bolter sponsons, storm bolter, and hunter killer missile. All right, so those are the armies going over deployment now. I've got my 5-man tactical squad in the building over here. I've got my Predator next to them. I've got my Land Raider Crusader. Inside there are going to be the 5 Deathwing Knights. They've also got a Watcher of the Dark. I forgot to show that in the intro. So they've got a Watcher with them. There also is going to have the Librarian with Terminator armor is going to be in there. And then I've got my Interrogator Chaplain, who is going to be my Warlord. He is going to have the Master of Maneuver Warlord trait, which lets him reroll, lets units that are 6 inches of him reroll advances and charges. He's also got the relic of the Shroud of Heroes on him, so -1 to hit him. Inside this building here, I've got my 6-man Intercessor squad. I've got my 5-man Hellblaster squad and the company, the Chapter Ancient next to them. And I've got my scouts in the building over here. Going over deployment for the Vostroyans, we've got his Baneblade over here on the side. We've got one of the veteran squads. We've got the company, both the characters, so both the Primaris Psyker and the company commander. Yeah, I got it right. And we've got the priest and the command squad and the Ogrin bodyguard over here. We've got both his Leman Russes inside the building over here. We've got both his heavy, the armored sentinels over here, and then we've got the other dude bros over here, and the Ratlings in the building up over there. So that is it for deployment. As of right now, the Dark Angels are going to be first, unless he can seize the initiative. Looking for a 6. No, does not get it. So we will come back to you with the cards drawn for the Dark Angels here on turn 1. All right, so the objectives that I drew here on turn 1 are secure objective 6, which his Ratlings are sitting on. I got supremacy, so hold 3 objectives. And then I got mission critical objective rolled and got a 1, so I have to hold objective 1, which currently my tactical guys are sitting on. So that's pretty good. All right, we'll come back to you after movement phase. All right, movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 1. These tactical squads stood still. The Predator stood still. He moved up, not quite his full distance because he had to pull back a bit to give him sight onto his Baneblade over there. Intercessor stood still. My Hellblasters and the Ancient moved up. My Scout stood still, and that is it for movement phase. So we will come back to you with the Psychers inside of a vehicle, so no psychic power, so we'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so starting off the shooting phase, I am going to spend a command point on Weapons of the Dark Age onto my Hellblasters here, who are going to supercharge and fire into his Baneblade over there. I don't know why I keep having trouble saying Baneblade. Baneblade. So we got 5 guys there, not in rapid fire range, but all in range. So these are going to be hitting on 3s. They are going to supercharge, so hitting on 3s. Oh, okay. So 1 is going to die unless I spend a command point. No, I am going to spend. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that into a hit. All right, that sounds good. So this 2 isn't a hit. So we've got 4 hits. These are going to be strength 8, toughness 8. So wounding on 4s. Oh, so we got 2 wounds, AP -4. He spent a command point on take cover, giving him +1 to his saves. So it's going to be a 6-up. So we got 2 6-ups. No, fails them both. So that is going to be 6 damage onto him. Pretty good. All right, so now my Land Raider is going to fire. He's going to fire everything into the company veteran squad in there, except for the Multi-Melty. He's going to fire into the Baneblade. So we're going to do the Baneblade first. So that's going to be hitting on a 3 because he's got Power of the Machine Spirit. That's a hit. Strength 8, wounding on 4. That is not a wound. All right, so now we're going to do the Twin Assault Cannon first into them. We've got 12 shots hitting on 3s. All right, that is a lot of misses. All right, these are now going to be strength 6, so wounding on 2s. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds. AP -1, +1 because they're in cover. So looking for 5s. Pass 1, so 5 are dead. And now the Storm Bolters are going to fire, not Storm Bolters, the Hurricane Bolters are going to fire in there. So we got another 12 shots hitting, yeah, different kind of storm. Just a stronger storm, much worse storm. So here we go, hitting on 3s. Alrighty, that's better. Wounding on 3s. That one's cocked and into a miss. So we've got another 6 wounds, but these are going to be AP -0, so it's going to be 4-ups. Ooh, fails 2 of them. And now my scouts are going to fire into the company company veteran squad over there. So we've got 5 shots hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s because of Grim Resolve, but no 1s were rolled. Wounding on 3s. We got a 2 wounds there, 2 4-ups. Fails 1 of them. And now my Predator is going to fire into the Baneblade over here with his 4 las cannons. The Stormbolter's out of range of everybody. So 4 shots hitting on 3s. All right, failed 1. Strength 9, so wounding on 3s. That is 3 wounds. AP -3, +1 for cover, and +1 for take cover. I guess take cover is just +1 to the save. It doesn't say anything about it being cover. So these are going to be 3 4-ups. And he fails 2 of them. He's going to spend a command point on 1 of them. So here we go. And that's good. That was well spent there. So D6 for the 1 that went through is a 6. That's pretty good. All right, now my intercessors are going to fire into his Baneblade over here, trying to get off because he's down to 14. 1 more, and he's in his next level. So, ooh, man, so close. So here we go. 6 shots. These are going to be hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s because they didn't move with Grim Resolve. Back into a 1, of course, because that's how I roll. And now, looking for 6s. Show me them fill faces. Oh, getting 2, and 1 fell off there, so I'm going to re-roll it. Oh, no, so we got 2. Oh, man. Okay, 2 2-ups. If one of these goes a 1, my gambit was worth it. If not... Oh, and it does! So he goes down, because he was up to a 2 because they were AP -1, but he got cover obscured from here, and he's on there. And then he also had the take cover, so that's why it went down to a 2. But I finally got him down. Oh, man, that was pretty killer. All right, so that is it for the Dark Angel's turn there. I'm not going to charge anything. We've got 1 leadership morale test to take on this veteran squad. 7, we lost 7 plus 6. And that squad is wiped. So that is actually First Blood. All right, so I scored mission critical. So I got 1 point for holding objective 1. And then for supremacy, I got 1 point for that. So that's fine. I got 2 points, not bad, and 2 objectives. Although they're low point objectives, so we'll see how that comes into it there. So, but I'm at 2 so far, and I'm going to get rid of secure objective 6 because I just don't think I'm going to get over there. So that is going to be it for the Dark Angel's turn here on turn 1. We'll come back to you with the cards drawn for the Vostroyans on turn 1. All right, so my opponent drew Death from Afar, which means a unit in his objective in his deployment zone needs to kill a unit in my deployment zone. Pretty good since he's still in his deployment zone here. Nobody's moved. Then he also got Overwhelming Firepower, so kill something in the shooting phase. And then he got Secure Objective 4, which is over here where my scouts are on. So totally doable. Most of his forces over here. So if he wants to make that run up there, he can possibly get it up there. So that is it for the movement phase. Not movement phase. That is it for the cards drawn here. So we'll come back to you with the movement phase. All right, movement phase here for the Vostroyans. His Ratling stood still. This squad here moved up over this way. These guys both stood still. He stood still, but his Demolisher moved up over that way. And all of the guys over on that side stood still. So that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to you. Do you want to be doing any psychic powers? Yes, he is. So we'll come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, so we're going to start off here. His primary psychic is going to cast Night Shroud onto his Baneblade over here. So looking for 6, getting it with a 10. All right, so starting off the shooting phase now, he is going to give Bring It Down to his command squad. So we're going to be shooting the 2 snipers, and a crack grenade into my intercessors back over here. So we got the 2 snipers. The crack grenade is going to be the red. So these are going to be hitting on 4s. Oh, hitting on 3s because they're veterans. All hits. Well done. Rerolling 1s to wound. Good thing. You got that 1-1 there. All right, so 1 wound into there. AP nothing, right? So 2 up save. And they're good. Woo! All right, so now his Ratlings are going to fire into my tactical squad over here, hitting on 3s. All right, so that is 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. Ooh, so that's all wounds, and that 6 means there's a mortal wound, so 1's definitely dead. And then I've got 3 2-up saves. Oh, another 1 dead, so that's 2 dead. All right, so these guys are going to fire their 2 las cannons into here, so we're just going to do them together even though they're separate units. These are going to be hitting on 4s, so we got 1 hit. Auger Array. So, yeah, wait, he doesn't have it. That's the tanks have that. So that's 3. That is a wound. AP -3, so looking for a 6 up. Show me that fill first. No, don't get it. So D6 wounds. 2 wounds. All right, so now his Lehman Russ Punisher is going to fire. He's going to fire his heavy bolters and the storm bolter and the Punisher cannon into my tactical squad, and then he's going to fire the las cannon and hunter killer missile into my predator over here. So what are these first?
Still, so 4 ups on heavy bolters.
His heavy bolters, he stood still, so 4 ups to hit. All right, that's 3 hits. 3 to wound. Getting 1 wound. AP -1, +1 because of them being in cover. No, goes through. Now the storm bolter is going to be firing into them. Yep, because of Vostroyan, he's in range there, so it's going to be well, it's not in half range, right? So it's just going to be 2 shots. Yeah, just a roll 2. That sounds good. Just rolling 2 here. So that is 1 hit. No wound. All right, so now the Punisher is going to be firing in here. He's going to be firing twice because he didn't move. So that's what is it? The
heavy 20 strength 5.
Yeah, heavy 20 strength 5. So this is the first 20 shots hitting on 4. We'll come back to you. All right, and 3s to wound. Getting all the wounds. That is 3, 6, 9 wounds. I mean, it's not feeling good for Homestar Runner right here. 6. AP nothing? All right, AP nothing. So we got 9. 2 up saves. Can I make them? No, I fail 3 of them, so they are dead. That squad is wiped. And now the las cannon and hunter killer firing into the predator. The hunter killer is going to be red, so these are going to be hitting on 4s. No hits. Auger Array on the las cannon. So that is a hit. Strength 9, so wounding on 6 is fine. AP -3, +3. 8, no, +3. AP -3, 3 up save becomes a 6 up save, so show me that fill first. No, goes through. D6 wounds. 1 wound. All right, so now his Lehman Russ Punisher, Demolisher, sorry, is going to fight. He's going to shoot. He's going to shoot his heavy bolter and storm bolter into my Hellblasters over here because he's Vostroyan, so it gives them the extra range. Then we've got the Demolisher is going to go into my Land Raider, and we've got the las cannon going into my Predator over here. So we're going to go with the heavy bolters first, hitting on 5s because he moved. All right, getting 2 hits, strength 5, so looking for 3s to wound. Getting 1 wound, AP -1, so it's going to be a 4 up. No, goes through. All right, and here comes the storm bolter into them. No hits there. So now the Demolisher is going to fire into him. We're going to do both shots, right? So it's 2d3 shots that are going to come in here because of the grinding advance. He only moved 5 inches. So it's going to be 3, 4, 5 shots that are going to be coming in here. These are going to be hitting on 4s. Getting 3 hits. Wounding on 3s, so it's strength 10, right? So wounding on 3s. Getting 1 wound. AP -4, so that's going to be a 6 up save. Show me that. AP -3, so it's going to be a 5 up save. Show me that fill first. No, goes through. D6. 3 wounds. And now the las cannon and hunter killer are going to fire into my predator over here. So both hitting. Las cannon didn't hits a 5, so he's auger array in that one. Nope. So we just have the hunter killer, strength 8, so wounding on a 3. That is a wound. AP, what's the AP on this? -2. AP -2, so looking for a 5 up. Yeah, with that fell first. Woo! All right, and then here comes this bro. He is going to be firing everything. So we're gonna have the Baneblade cannon is gonna go into my Land Raider. He's going to shoot the las cannons and the hunter killer into my predator. He's also going to be shooting the autocannon and the demolisher cannon into my hellblasters, and then he's going to shoot the heavy bolters and the storm bolter into my scouts over here. So he's also going to be spending a command point on Firstborn Pride onto him, so that he is going to be getting a +1 to shoot. So what are we going to start with?
Let's just work our way across. So
okay. So we're going to do the hunter killer and the las cannon into my predator first. So the red's going to be the hunter killer. These are going to be hitting on 4s because he's dropped down to 5 because of the wounds, and then +1 for Vostroyan Pride. So that's all hits. These are going to be wounding on 3s. Getting the 2 las cannon shots into there. So we're going to looking for 2 6 ups, showing them fill firsts. No, both go through. 2d6 damage. 6 damage. And now the Baneblade cannon firing into my Land Raider. So heavy 3d6. Oh no, this is gonna be nuts. All right, so 17 shots coming in here, hitting on 4s. We'll come back to that. All right, these are going to be wounding on 3s because it's strength 9. So we've got, two wounds. AP -3, so looking for 6 ups. Oh no, 5 ups because he's got 2 up armor. So 5 ups, looking for 5s and 6s. No, not getting either of them. That's 3 damage each, so that's 6 damage. All right, so now his autocannon and demolisher are going to fire into my Hellblasters here. So we're going to go the autocannon first, hitting on 4s. That is 1 hit. Strength 7, so looking for a 3 to wound. That is a wound.
-1.
AP -1, so looking for a 4 up. Yeah, I'm good. And now the demolisher, because there's 5 guys in the unit, it's heavy D6, so that is going to be 5 shots here. These are going to be hitting on 4s. Ooh, wow. Okay, so we got 4 hits and wounding on 2s. Oh, so 2 wounds. AP -3, right? So looking for 6 up. Show me them fill faces. No, both go through. So first guy is going to die, and then it's D3 damage, right? Or D6 damage. Oh, and 1 damage. All right, he's actually going to spend his last command point and try to reroll that damage there. And there you go. All right, so that is 2 guys dead. All right, so now 2 of them died there, so we're going to roll to see if the company Ancient can help them there. So looking for 4 ups. Getting 1 of them. So he is going to supercharge into him. So only, what's up? Yeah, so he gets to hit. Yeah, so he's -1 to hit because of Night Shroud, but he's going to have a 2-up ballistic skill because that's what the company Ancient, the Chapter Ancient does versus any of the other Ancients, is that when they get to fire on a ballistic skill of 2 up. So I'm going to be hitting on a 3. That's a hit with a fill face. And then I'm going to be wounding on a 4 because it's strength 8. No, and I miss. No, I'm gonna let that one go. All right, now the Stormbolter and Heavy Bolter is gonna fire into my my scouts over here. So we're gonna go with the Stormbolter first. That is 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. 1 wound. 2 up save. Yeah, he good. It's actually a 3 up save because of cover. They've got a 4 up, so but he's still good. So anyway, now on to the Heavy Bolters. So we're going to have 18 shots between all of those bolters because it's 2 sets of twin heavy bolters. So plus another heavy bolter, right? I think. Yeah. Or
front one, then the 2 sponsons.
Yeah, 2 sponsons plus the front one. So that's going to be a total of 5 heavy bolters. Come here. 6 heavy bolters. Oh, because it's the twin in the front too?
Yes.
Oh, twin in the front too. Gross. Okay, so here we go. 18. Hitting on 4s. We'll come back to you. And 3s to wounds. All right, so all but there. So we got 4, 5, 6 wounds going in there. So we've got 4, 5, 6. AP -1, +1, so looking for 4 ups. And I failed 1 of them. Pretty good, I'll take that. All right, so my opponent did score overwhelming firepower and death from afar for killing the tactical squad over there. I got the points for both of those, but he only got 1 for each, so he's got the 2 points there. So, are you going to keep the other?
Yes,
the other? He's going to get rid of Secure Objective 4, just because it's a pain to get over here. So that is it for the Vostroyan turn here on turn 1. We will come back. There's no morale test to be taken, and we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels, or with the cards drawn for Dark Angels here on turn 2. All right, so I drew Assassinate, Master of the Warp, and Secure Objective 5. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 2. All right, so movement phase for the Dark Angels here. My Predator stood still. So did my Intercessors. So did my Scouts. My Hellblasters and Ancient moved up this way. My Deathwing Knights, my Interrogator Chaplain, and my Librarian all disembarked, and then my Land Raider came up behind them, and that is it. That's all I got left. So we will come back to you with the Psychic phase. All right, so the first thing he's going to do is smite into the Baneblade. So looking for a 5 for that one. Getting it with an 8. Do you want to try to deny it? Nope, he's going to let it go. So D3 mortal wounds. 3 mortal wounds with a fill face. And now he's going to cast Righteous Repugnance onto my Deathwing Knights, looking for a 7. Getting it with a 9. He's going to try to deny that. Ooh, only gets a 9. He needed 1 more. So they are going to be righteously repugned. All right, so starting off the shooting phase, my Hellblasters here are going to fire into his Baneblade. I'm going to spend the command point on weapons from the Dark Age. So they are in rapid fire range now of him, and they are going to fire. He still has Night Shroud on him, so it's -1 to hit. So I'm going to be hitting on 4s, and I'm going to supercharge them, which means that on a 1 or a 2 that I would overheat. So we're going to fire. The first guy here is going to be hitting on a 4, getting 1 hit and 1 dead. Second guy is going to be a dead and not a hit. And the third guy is going to be a hit and a dead. So that is all 3 dead. But, so that's going to be all 3 dead. So we're going to do with the 2 hits that got in there. So he's going to be strength 8, wounding on 4s. Getting both wounds, AP -4. So he doesn't get a save onto those. So that's just going to be 3 wounds down onto him for each of those. So that's 6 wounds that he now takes. He's down to 4. And all 3 of those guys now get to roll because of the Ancient over there to see if they get to fire again. That one's cocked. All right, so 1 will get to roll, and I'm going to spend a command point to reroll 1 of these. And he also gets those 2 guys that are going to get to fire in there. I'm just going to roll them together because they are going to be, it doesn't make a difference. They're both dead anyway. So that's going to be 2 guys supercharging in rapid fire range, and Weapons of the Dark Age is for the entire phase. So this still counts with Weapons of the Dark Age. So we've got 4 shots hitting on 3s now because their ballistic skill went up to 2 because of the Chapter Ancient, -1 because of the Dark Shroud, or the Night Shroud on him. So hitting on 3s. All right, so that's going to be 3 hits. Strength 8, looking for 4s to wound. Getting 2 wounds at AP -4 that goes through, and that is dead. Does he explode? He does not explode, but he is dead. That is, that's pretty crazy. All right, so now my Land Raider is going to fire. He's going to fire his Twin Assault Cannon and Hurricane Bolters into his company command squad, and then he's going to fire his Multi-Melta into the Demolisher over there. So we're going to start with the Twin Assault Cannons. So these are going to be 4 shots, hitting on 4s now because he's wounded. And so I'm going to be hitting on, well, he would be hitting on 3s. Now it becomes, or it would be hitting on 4s, and I move, but they've got Power of the Machines here, so hitting on 4s. Alrighty then. Okay, pretty good. These are now going to be wounding on 2s. That is going to be, wow, all wounds. So we've got 6, 7 wounds. AP -1, +1 because of cover, so we've got 7 4-ups. 5-ups? Oh, 5-ups. No, they, whoa, failed all of them. So that company command squad is dead. So the Hurricane Bolters don't get to shoot at anything, but now the Multi-Melta gets to fire into there, hitting on a 4. That is a hit. Strength 8, toughness 8. So looking for a 4 to wound. That is a wound with a fell face. And then it's AP -4, no save into there. So D6 wounds. 1 wound. I'm going to spend my command point on that one. Oh, no, I already spent my command point to get that guy to shoot again. So I'm good to go. All right, so now my Librarian is going to fire into the Ministorum Priest with his Storm Bolter. Not in rapid fire range, just out. So hitting on 3s. That is 1 hit. That is a wound.
Does cover modify involves?
No, it does not. So he's just got a 4-up invul save. No, takes a wound. Now my scouts over here are going to fire into his Primaris Psyker. So we got 4 guys hitting on 3s. That is 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. Oh, that is 2 wounds. AP nothing, so 2, 1 second. All right, so 2 4-up saves because of cover. Oh, fails them both. And then the Chapter Ancient's gonna fire his bolter. That's a hit. That is not a wound. All right, so now my Intercessors are gonna fire. 3 of them are gonna fire into his Priest, 3 of them into the Psyker. I did it backwards, but whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Because now with the beta rules that we've been playing with, characters who are less than 10 wounds don't block other characters. So they're going to be shooting into them. So these are going to be the 3 into the Priest first. All right, rerolling 1s because of Grim Resolve. So that is 3 hits. Wounding on a 3. That is 2 wounds. AP -1. Oh, he's got his 4-up invul save. Fails on both. And now the 3 into the Priest, into the Psyker over there. So that's 3 shots hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s because of Grim Resolve. Nope, did not help that time. Wounding on 3s. That is 2 wounds. AP -1, +1 because of cover. 5 ups. No, and he is dead. And now my Interrogator Chaplain is going to shoot his bolt pistol into the company commander. That is a hit. 4 to wound. That is a wound. AP nothing, so 2-up save. He's good. Exactly. And now my Predator is going to fire into the Punisher. He's down to his last level, so he's going to be hitting on 5s. It goes from 3 to 4 to 5. So I've got 4 shots here hitting on 5s. Getting 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. I'm going to spend... oh no, I already spent my command point, so it does not wound. Alright, so now my Deathwing Knights are going to start us off in the assault phase by assaulting into all of these guys up here. So we're going to go 2 bolt pistol shots coming in here. On 6s? No, nothing there. So they need 8 inches to make a charge into the Bulgrin over there because they're just under 9 inches away. So 8 inches to make it in, and I make it in. And now my Interrogator Chaplain is going to charge. He does not make it, but he can re-roll his charge distance because of his command trait, his Warlord trait, and he gets even worse. So he is going to stay where he is. All right, so we're going to start off here. 1 guy is going to go into the Ministorum Priest. 2 are going to go into his company commander, and 2 are going to go into the Bulgrin over there. So we're going to go with the 1 into the Ministorum Priest first. These are going to be hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits. Wounding on 2s. That's 2 wounds.
4 ups.
4 up saves. Oh, and he makes them both. Killer. Now we're going to go with the guys that are going into the Bulgrin over there, or the Ogrin. So we're going to have the Knightmaster first. Those 3 attacks hitting on 3s. Rerolling hits and wounds because of the Righteous Repugnance. Okay. Was not meant to be. Wounding on 3s. Rerolling because of Righteous Repugnance. So that is 2 wounds at AP minus 2. 2 5 ups onto the Bulgrin. AP minus 3. AP minus 3, sorry.
5 ups.
5 ups. He makes 1 of them, so there's 2 damage onto the Bulgrin.
Gotta be a bodyguard.
All right, and here comes my knight, the other knight into him with the mace. So 2 attacks hitting on 3s. Both hits. Strength times 2, so strength 8, wounding on 3s. That is cocked. Rerolling because of the Grim Resolve. Not Grim Resolve, because of Righteous Repugnance. So that's 1 wound. AP minus 2.
So 4 up.
4 up. No, goes through, and that is 3 damage. And now we got 2 guys into the company commander over here, hitting on 3s. Wounding on 2s. That is cocked. Rerolling because of Righteous Repugnance. So that is 4 wounds. 4 up invul saves, right? Oh, AP minus 2. So 4 up armor saves. Ooh, makes all but 1. So that's 3 damage. So you can pass off the first one, right, 1 at a time, right, to go off onto the Bulgrin. 3 up, yep. So now the Bulgrin is dead, and then he takes 2 damage. So the company commander is now going to start us off with his guys.
3 attacks plus 1 for priest.
3 attacks plus 1 for the priest, hitting on
4s.
4s because of the Power Fist.
Rerolling 1s and 2s.
Rerolling 1s and 2s. Rerolling that 1 and a 2. Okay, so we got 3 hits.
And he's going to be wounding on strength 6.
Strength 6, so wounding on 3s.
Rerolling 1s and 2s.
Rerolling 1s and 2s.
Thankfully.
So that's 3 wounds.
3.
3 invul saves. And I'll make them all. Woo! And now the priest is going to get to attack.
Plus 1 for chainsword.
Plus 1 for his chainsword, so we got 5 attacks. Hitting on 4s.
Yes.
All right. Wounding on strength 3, right? So 5s. Getting 1 wound. 2 up save. All right, he's good.
He's very good.
All right, so that is it for the Dark Angel's turn here. I got Master of the Warp for getting off those powers. I also got Assassinate for killing his the Bulgrin and the priest. Oh no, the Bulgrin and the Primaris Psyker. And I also managed to get Secure Objective 5, which is the one right there, because I've got more models within there, and neither of us is objective secured. So that is a pretty good turn for the Dark Angels there. So I got an additional 3 points. They're all worth, 1 point each, but I am up to 5 at this point, so we'll see how it goes. So that's it for the Dark Angels turn here on turn 2. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the, with the cards drawn for the Vostroyans on turn 2.
Okay.
All right, so my opponent drew Hammer of the Emperor, Overkill, and Supremacy. So he has to, Hammer of the Emperor is destroy an enemy unit that was controlling an objective. Overkill is have a vehicle destroy a unit, and then Supremacy hold 3. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Vostroyans here on turn 2. All right, movement phase for the Vostroyans here on turn 2. His company commander and the priest fell back over here out of combat.
Sit still, sit still.
Sit still. Sit still on both the tanks. Sit still with both of the sentinels. And then these dude bros advanced 5 inches, right? So they moved 11 inches, just, you know, running as fast as they possibly could in there. So double tapping like in PUBG, going forward. They put the guns away and ran. And then you've got the Rattling snipers has also stood still. So that is it for the movement phase. There is no psychic phase since I killed his priest, psyker. Sorry, I keep saying priest, but the psyker. So now we will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so starting off with the orders now, he's going to order himself to get back in the fight, and then he's going to throw a frag grenade into them. So that's going to be 1 shot. That's not a hit. Now the Rattlings are going to fire into my Predator over here. These are going to be hitting on 3s. That's 4 hits. Wounding on strength 4, so wounding on 5s, but 6s do mortal wounds. Getting 1 mortal wound and 2 saves. So he's down to 1 wound for sure. Unless I can make 2 3-up saves, he's dead. So here we go. 2 3-ups. Oh, and he's good. All right, so now both of the Sentinels are going to fire into my Land Raider over here. So we got 2 shots hitting on 4s. No hits. All right, so now his Lehman Russ Punisher is going to fire his heavy bolters and the storm bolter into my Predator, and he's going to fire his las cannon into my Land Raider, and he's going to fire the Punisher cannon into my Deathwing Knights over here. So we're going to go with the heavy bolters first, hitting on 4s. That's pretty good. Strength 5, so wounding on 5. Sorry, I got 1 wound. AP -1, so 4-up save. Yeah, he's good with a fell face. Stormbolter, 2 hits. Whoa, 2 wounds. 2 3-ups, or he's dead. Oh, and he's good. Woo!
Seriously,
now the land cannon, the las cannon into my his land cannon into my las raider, hitting on a 4. No hit. And now the Punisher cannon firing in here. It's 2 rounds of 20 shots each. So first round, we'll come back to you with that. And wounding on 3s. We'll come back to
2, 3, 4, 5.
5 wounds that are going in there. No AP, so 5 2-up saves. Failed 1. And now the second volley. Hitting on 4s. We'll come back to that. All right, and wounding on 3s. All right, so we got way more than we had before.
6, 8.
8 wounds that are coming in here. So I needed more dice. 5, 6, 7, 8. These are now going to be looking for 2-ups again. Failed 1. I'm going to spend
2 points.
Yeah, but I got 2 points left. I'm going to spend a command point on that. Oh, of course. All right, now his Lehman Russ Demolisher. I keep getting them confused. I'm thinking that giant cannon's punishing my opponent. So he's going to fire his last cannon into my Land Raider. He's going to fire the heavy bolters and the storm bolter into my Predator, and then he's going to fire his Demolisher cannon into my Knights over here. So we're going to go with the heavy bolters first, hitting on 4s. All right, so that's 1 hit. That is not a wound. And now the storm bolter. That's 2 hits. That is 1 wound. That's all it takes. Fail the 1 3-up. No, and he does, and he is dead.
Can't explode.
Now the last cannon into the Land Raider. That is a hit. That is a wound. But that is a save. All right, now the Demolisher is going to fire in here. 2d3 shots since there's less than 5, so that's still 6 shots. Would have been 11. That would have been gross.
Nasty.
So here we go, hitting on 4s. Getting 2 hits. Strength 10. So wounding on 2s. That is 2 wounds. 2 3-up Storm Shield saves. Failing 1. So D6, right? 1 wound. So my opponent will score Hammer of the Emperor and Overkill for killing my Predator back there because he was holding that objective. So pretty good there. So that's another 2 points for him. And he's going to get rid of Supremacy because it's very, very difficult for him to get. So that is going to be it for the Vostroyans here on turn 2. So we'll come back to you with the cards drawn for the Dark Angels on turn 3. All right, so I drew Defend Objective 2, Secure Objective 1, and Confess, which is score 1 victory point if a friendly Interrogator Chaplain killed any enemy models in the fight phase of this turn, or if you successfully manifested any psychic powers from the Interromancy discipline during the turn. All right, movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 3. My Intercessors advanced over this way. My Librarian advanced up that way. My Ancient advanced up over here. My Scouts stood still. Land Raider moved up. Interrogator Chaplain moved up. And my Deathwing Knights moved up over this way. And that's it. That's all I got here on the movement phase here for turn 3. So we'll come back to you after the with the Psychic phase here on turn 3. Now he is going to start us off by casting Righteous Repugnance onto my Deathwing Knights over there. Looking for a 7. Getting it. I'll take that. And now he is going to cast Smite into his Leman Russ Demolisher over there. Whoop. So looking for a 5. Whoa, getting it with just barely a 5. D3 mortal wounds. 1 mortal wound. Starting at the shooting phase, my Scouts are going to fire into his company commander down here. So hitting on 3s. All right, wounding on 4s, getting 2 wounds, 2 up saves. He makes them both. All right, so now my Leman Russ is actually closer to his destroyer than I am to these guys back here. A destroyer. What's that?
Leman Russ.
Oh, my Leman Russ. My Land Raider is closer to his Leman Russ destroyer over here. Demolisher. So we're gonna start off with the multi-melter first. So this is gonna be hitting on a 3 or hitting on a 4 because of his wound. That's a hit. Wounding on a 4. Oh, it's 4, right? Because your toughness 8. No, that's not a wound. I'm going to spend a command point on that. Yeah, that's my last command point. Worth it, since that's a wound. They're within half range, so 2d6, take the highest. And take the fill face. It was going to be the 1 if I didn't get that melter range. Woo! Now the twin assault cannon is going to fire in here. Hitting on 4s. Alrighty. Then that's real good. Strength 6, so wounding on 5s. Not as good. That is 1 wound. AP -1. 1 4 up. Whoop, off the table. No, so he takes another wound. And now the Hurricane Bolters are going to fire into him. I am in rapid fire range, so we're going to roll into the dice box. This is a buttload of dice. 24 shots, hitting on 4s. All right, we'll come back to you with that. All right, and wounding on 6s. No fill faces. Womp womp. All right, so that's it for shooting phase. On to the assault phase. These guys, my Knights are going to charge into his Leman Russ Demolisher over there. Heavy bolters first on 6s. Nope, no hits there. Then we've got the Storm Bolter, 4 shots. Getting 1 hit. 1 wound. Looking for a 2 up. He's good. And then we've got D3 for D3. Oh no, D3 because it's just in the shooting phase. He gets that. So hitting on 6s. Oh no, 2 hits. Oh boy. Oh, 1 wound. 3 up invul save. Yeah, he's good. All right, and their charge distance. Yeah, it's totally in.
So terrible. And
now my Interrogator Chaplain is going to charge into the Priest and the company commander. So pair of bolt pistols, no hits there. So I need a 7-inch charge to get into the Priest over there. And he's in. All right, we're going to start with my Knights into his Leman Russ over here. So we're going to start with the ones with the maces. So we got 6 attacks between them, hitting on 3s. Rerolling because, well, thank God, because of the Righteous Repugnance. There we go, much better. So these are now strength ×2, so strength 8, wounding on 4s. Rerolling because of Righteous Repugnance, so that is 4 wounds there. AP -2, 5 ups. And he makes 2, fails 2, so that's 6 wounds. He's dead. Does he explode? He does not. So I will consolidate them and come back with the next fight. All right, so now my Interrogator Chaplain is going to attack into them. He's going to put 2 attacks into the commander with his Power Fist. He's going to put 1 with the Crozius into his priest over there. So we're going to go with the 1 Crozius attack into the priest, hitting on a 2. That's a hit. Strength +1, so looking for a 3 to wound. No wound. And I've got no command points left. And now the Power Fist into the company commander. That's 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. Not rerolling 1s. So this is going to be wounding on a 2. That's a wound. AP -3. 5 up save. He doesn't make it. So it's going to be D3 damage. If I get 2 or more, he's dead. Ah! What? Oh!
Coming back with it.
And now his company commander is going to attack into him. 4 power fist shots. That is 3 hits. Rerolling the 2.
Still a miss.
That's still a miss, so that's going to be 3 hits.
And
Strength 6, so looking for 3s to wound. Rerolling the 2. That is 3 wounds. 3 4-up Rosaria saves. And I'll make them all! Woo! And now the priest is going to attack in. That is going to be 3 hits. 5s to wound.
1.
Got 1 wound.
1 3 up.
And he's good. All right, so I did get Confess because of casting the Interromancy power, not because my Interrogator Chaplain killed anybody, but I'll still take it. That's still a point. And then I didn't get Secure Objective 1, but I'm going to keep it because I think they're going to get there. And then I got started on Defend Objective 2. So that is it for the Dark Angel's turn here on turn 3. We'll come back to you with the cards drawn for the Vostroyans on turn 3. All right, so my opponent drew no prisoners, Defend Objective 2, and priority orders received. He got blood and guts, so his warlord is looking to kill my Interrogator Chaplain. That's going to be brutal. So we'll see how that goes. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Vostroyans here on turn 3. All right, so movement phase for the Vostroyans. His company commander and priest stayed in combat over there. But his Land Raider fell back out of combat.
Lehman Russ.
Well, Lehman Russ, sorry. Whatever, they're giant treaded 8 toughness vehicles. Easy to confuse with each other. They both got sponsons. Whatever. Okay, I'll take that. Not anymore, though, I guess.
That's true. That is true.
These guys, his armored sentinels stood still, and his veterans moved up. Man, I am just, my brain is mush apparently today. They moved up, they didn't advance, and his rattling stood still. So that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so first things first, his company commander is going to order himself fixed bayonet, so he gets to fight instead of shoot in the fight phase. So here he goes. 4 attacks, hitting on 4s. Rerolling 1s and 2s. Oh man, 4 hits. Strength 6, so wounded on 3s. Oh man, that is 4 wounds. Oh boy. Has my Interrogator Chaplain been praying to the Emperor? We're about to find out. Here we go. 4 4-ups. Can he do it? Save him, Emperor! Oh no! Oh no. I failed 3 of them. 3d3. 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds. Yeah, he did. Squished. And that is Slay the Warlord. Alright, so now his veterans here are going to fire into my Terminators. The Flamer is out of range, but the pistol is in range. So they're actually in rapid fire range because of the Vostroyan rule with them. So we're going to start with the Heavy Bolter first, hitting on 4s because he moved. That is 1 hit. That is no wound. Alright, then we have 15 las shots coming in here, hitting on 3s. Alright, pretty good there. Alright. Wounding on 5s. We got 2 3 wounds. 3 2-up saves. And I'll make them all. Now the Rattlings are going to fire into my Terminators over here, hitting on 3s. Alright, all but 1 hit. Wounding on strength 4, so looking for 4s. So getting 2 regular saves, no mortals. And I make them both. And now both Sentinels are going to fire at the Land Raider over here. That is 1 hit. That is 1 wound. 5-up save. And I'm good. Alright, so my opponent scored priority orders received, which is 1 objective. I think it counts as 1 objective, but he did score 4 points from it, which is brutal. And then he got 1 point for no prisoners, and he's going to get rid of Defend Objective 2. So, and also at the end of his turn, I score Defend Objective 2. So we'll come back to you after withdrawing the cards for the Dark Angels on turn 4. All right, so I scored. Getting a little ahead of myself here. I've got Secure Objective 1, Big Game Hunter, and Blood and Guts. All very doable, and I have 7 achieved objectives at this point, so if I score those, the game is going to end. So we will come back to you after a movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 4. All right, movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 4. My intercessors moved over here to jump onto objective 1. My librarian moved up towards his Leman Russ. My ancient bolted it 6 inches on his advance. Ran over this way. Leman Russ. I keep getting them back and forth. Seriously, my Land Raider stood still. My Scout stood still. And my knights moved up over this way. So that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, starting off the psychic phase, he is going to cast Smite onto his Leman Russ over there. Going off with an 11. So, D6 wounds. 5 wounds. That is killer. And now he's going to try to cast Trephination onto him, looking for 7. Getting it with a 10. Which is more than 10. I would have needed an 11 on this one as well. So it's just going to be 2d6, and then minus is leadership, and then he takes that many mortal wounds. So his leadership is 7, so 2d6, 8. So he takes 1 mortal wound. Not bad. All right, so starting off the shooting phase, my scouts are going to fire into his company commander over here. So that's 4 shots, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s because of Grim Resolve. All right, so that's 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. We got 1 wound. 2 up. Oh, I thought it was coming, but no, he made it. All right, now my Land Raider is going to fire his Hurricane Bolters into the company commander, and he's going to fire his Multi-Melta and Twin Assault Cannon into the Leman Russ over there. So we're going to go with the Multi-Melta first, hitting on a 4. No hit. And now the Twin Assault Cannon, hitting on 4s. Not great. Wounding on 5s. Getting 2 wounds, AP -1, so 2 4-ups. And he fails them both. All right, so now the Hurricane Bolters into his company commander over here. I'm going to do it in my dice box again. So we've got 24 shots, hitting on 4s. We'll come back to you with that. All right, wounding on 4s. Oh, we got 5 misses, so we've got 7 wounds. Statistics have abandoned him. I was exactly statistical in my hits, and then slightly better than statistical on my wounds. So here we go. 2 up saves. Oh, and he failed 3 of them. Wow, statistics really did abandon you on that one. All right, so that is the company commander dead, and that is Slay the Warlord. All right, so now my librarian's going to fire his Stormbolter into him. That is 3 hits. That is 2 wounds. Oh, no, 1 wound. Sorry. 1 wound. And that is a failed save. All right, my intercessors are going to fire into his Leman Russ over here. So we're going to have 6 shots hitting on 3s. They did move. Oh, that's all hits. That's pretty good. Wounding on 6s. Nope, no wounds. All right, so starting off the assault phase, they are going to assault into his Leman Russ. Got it right that time. So here we go with Overwatch here. So we're going to go with the Storm Bolters, Heavy Bolters first, looking for 6s. Nope, nothing there. Storm Bolter. 1 hit there. That is not a wound. Las Cannon.
Yes.
Nope, nothing there. And then he's got the Punisher here, which is going to be 20 shots into my dude bros over here. So 20 shots. Looking for 6s. Got a couple. Come back to you with that. All right, there was 5 6s looking for 3s to wound. Getting 3 wounds. 3 2 up saves. And they make them all. And now for their charge is 5 inches is in. And now my librarian's gonna charge in. Yeah, he's in too. All right, so we're gonna start out with the maces, guys. We've got 6 attacks between them, hitting on 3s. All right, not getting to reroll because they don't have righteous repugnance, and my interrogator chaplain's dead. So that's 5 hits. Strength 8, toughness 8. So looking for 4s to wound. Oh, okay, we got 3 wounds, AP -2. So 3 5 up saves. If he fails any of these, it's dead. Oh, and he fails 1, fails 2. So he is dead. Does he explode? No, he does not. So that is, yeah, he did.
Game over.
All right, so that's it for the fight phase, since that's the only fight that was going on over there. So they consolidated in over there to his his dude bro, so actually they get to attack back, so we'll come back to you with that. All right, so they're gonna get 12 attacks into my Terminators over here, hitting on 4s. So is that 3 hits? All right, wounding on 5s. Hey, getting 1 wound. Hey, that's all it's gonna take to kill that one Terminator that's got the 1 wound left. 2 up. Oh, and he does! He kills the Terminator. Boom. All right, so that is it for the Dark Angel's turn here. I got Secure Objective 1 from these guys. I got Big Game Hunter for killing that Leman Russ, and I got Blood and Guts for killing that Leman Russ. And that is 10 objectives scored. So we do get to go into his turn, so he'll get a chance to get as many points as he can now, but at the end of this turn, that's going to be it. And we'll count up the objectives, and we'll find out who is the victor. So we'll come back to you with the cards drawn for the Vostroyans here on turn 4. All right, so my opponent drew Assassinate, Secure Objective 2, and Defend Objective 6. So it's going to be tough for him to get these, but we'll come back to you after movement phase. All right, the movement phase for the Vostroyans here on turn 4. His veterans fell back out of combat. These sentinels stood still, ratlings stood still, and so did the priest back there. So that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, starting off the shooting phase, his ratlings are going to fire into my ancient over here. So they're going to five shots. That's 3 hits. These are going to be wounding on 4s. So that's 1 mortal wound and 2 saves. He's in cover over there, so 2 2-ups. Oh, he fails 1, so he's down 2 wounds. Now the 2 las cannons from over here are going to fire into my Land Raider over here. So that's 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. That's 1 hit. That is a wound. And that is a save with a fill phase. Woo! And that is the end of the turn there. And that is the end of the game because I scored 10 objectives. So we will come back to you after we count them up with the victor. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've tallied up the scores, and my opponent, the Vostroyans, had 10 victory points for them, and for the Dark Angels, it was 15 victory points. So I got 10 for my objectives, I got 3 for being the first to hit 10 objectives, and I got First Blood and Slay the Warlord. So 15 points to 10 with a Dark Angel victory. So that was a brutal game. That was so much fun. Things went very well for me. Those Hellblasters with that last with the last ability at the end there with the company, that company ancient paid off his points so much with that 5-man, just a 5-man Hellblaster squad, let alone like a 10-man Hellblaster squad. Letting them take down that that Baneblade was brutal. It was brutal. And then my Deathwing Knights did more work today than they've done like nigh on ever. They were able to get off the charges they needed. They got where they needed to be, and they were just able to like run rampant back there. The Emperor just had some faith in them right there. But then my Interrogator Chaplain getting punched in the face by his company commander. His company commander is developing like a litany of kills that he's had. He's punched and killed my Patriarch from my Gene Stealers in the face and killed him. My Typhus, he's killed Typhus. He's killed my Interrogator Chaplain. He's he's developing a list of names that he is just like his butts he's kicked with that power fist in hand, just punching him fearlessly in the face. So pretty awesome. So yes, it was a ton of fun. I had a blast, and I liked this mission a lot. Just it was like really gun and go because you really needed to get those objectives because you wanted to get those extra 3 points. You have to play objectives and you have to play them like fast because you want to try to get as much as you can. So you're really sitting there like on objectives. It doesn't pay you to sit on objectives and be like, maybe I can get it going forward. It's like, no, you don't know if you're gonna have forwards. So you got to try to get those points as quick as possible. And it's like, if you're not going to get it this turn or the next turn, and for sure, drop it. You got to drop it. You got to go for the next one because you've got to get those points. Because once you hit 10, like I said, we didn't have a turn 5. So if he was holding off objectives that he thought he could get on turn 5, not going to happen because it didn't happen. So it was a lot of fun. This was another one of those ones from I really have enjoyed a lot of the missions from the chapter approved. They've been really a lot of fun. They're really well balanced. And just really a good time. So, yeah, so I super had a great time. I hope that all of you have as well. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. My opponent's been Harris, and until next time, have fun.